Is early retirement feasible for you? In today's video, we're going to talk about 4 things that you want to consider prior to retiring early. So the first thing we want to discuss is financial considerations, right? This is something that I think you have to really take seriously if you're trying to retire early. And when we say early, in my mind, that's 60 or younger. And the reason why, and even 59 and a half and younger, I like to say before you can actually get the tax-free money that you've put aside from some of the things that you may have done at your retirement accounts. That's where I would say, that's what I would say is the early age for retirement. So the most important thing is assessing the savings that you have, your investments, and your retirement accounts, right? Now, when you're doing this assessment of these things, you have to totally understand that when you are retiring early, you are not going to be able to use some of the money that you have saved in retirement accounts if you're truly before you turn 59 and a half in your retirement. So you want to know that how much savings you have. You need to assess that amount of savings you have and understand how long that savings will last until you can bridge the gap to get to some of your retirement assets which may carry you through retirement. Now, you also have investment income. You can do stuff with regular investments that aren't tied to retirement accounts, and you can take money from there as well. So really taking an assessment of what your financial situation is going to be according to the savings that you have to go on the journey to retire early. Explore the potential impact of retiring early, right? So when you talk about long-term, living longer in retirement, that's essentially what we're doing. Usually, someone that's retiring in their 60s is going to, life expectancy is late 80s, early 90s. So when you are retiring earlier than that, that means that whatever you have is going to have to last you for much longer. So some of the things that you want to look into is, when are you going to take that Social Security benefit? Because this is going to factor in as you're looking at some of the savings that you're drawing from, some of your investments that you may be drawing from that aren't retirement assets. You want to know when you're going to be able to kick in some of those other things that are waiting for you on the other side of 59 and a half. And so understanding your Social Security benefits and understanding your healthcare costs. Okay. When we're talking healthcare, you understand that there's something that's going to happen at 65, right? You know that you're going to get Medicare at 65. However, if you're retiring early, then you're going to have to navigate how you're going to pay for your medical benefits. This is super important. This is something that you don't want to overlook. And you want to make sure that the doctors that you love and have had and that you don't want to change are available on whatever healthcare plan that you end up going with. The next one, the pros to early retirement. Let's talk about the reasons why people do this, okay? One of the things that I hear people talk about all the time is, I want to retire early so I can pursue hobbies, or so I can travel, or so I can do some of the passions that I have. So let me give you an example, okay? So a lot of people want to go to Europe when they retire. A lot of people want to go to different countries. Well, let me just give you an experience from my wife and I when we traveled to Europe. Now, we went to Europe a few years back, and while we were there, we stopped in Italy. When you're in Italy, the cities we were in Florence. We didn't drive a vehicle there. We were walking 8 to 10 miles a day. Okay, now we're in our 30s. We're able to walk 8 to 10 miles a day. It wasn't a big deal. But if you're thinking about this early retirement, right, and you're thinking, I'm going to wait till I'm 70 years old, and then I'm going to go take this trip after I finish working and go walk over here in this other country for 8 to 10 miles a day. We were there for 16 days. That's we didn't walk that many miles every day, but I mean, we walked easily over 100 miles while we were there in Europe, right? Between the airports and all this stuff. That's something that people don't consider. And so think about the benefits of being able to be able-bodied and being able to go visit some of the places that you wanted to visit. There's some challenges and risks too, though. One of the biggest things that people talk about, whether they're retiring early or retiring at regular retirement age, is running out of money, outliving the actual income that they have. And so this is where we really, really make those careful decisions. I think understanding how you manage your debt is going to make a big difference on whether or not you can retire early. Understanding, that if your largest expense is still your home, and you are going to be able to get that paid off, I think that that's going to be a critical part of your retirement plan, paying down the mortgage or not having a mortgage. Some people don't want to have a mortgage. Depending on where you live in the country, mortgages aren't always the best thing. So just want to make sure that you think about that, right? Think about the risks of outliving your savings, and then the impact of market volatility. Now, when it comes to market volatility, we've seen some volatile markets all of our lives. And I think understanding what your plan is, right, and sticking to that plan, whatever your investment strategy is going to be the way that you navigate those markets. Because if you're working with an advisor, it's highly likely that they've ran simulations for the market turmoil that we're seeing even now. So that's always something to think about. And so strategies for early success. There's going to be a few tips that I would say when you're talking about early success, like retiring early and having success. One of them is having the strategy of downsizing, right? And so when people are trying to downsize, you're going in one living space and maybe going to go into a smaller living space. The other thing that you can do is creating a withdrawal strategy, right? There's all kinds of different withdrawal strategies. A lot of people like to use the 4% rule, and understanding that this is a rule of thumb. So that I'm not saying that we use this all the time, but the rule of thumb is that you should be able to draw down 4% of whatever assets you have as an income for the rest of your life. So let's just use simple math. If it's $1 million and you're drawing out 4%, that's $40,000 a year. You should have that for the rest of your life. That's just the way the math works. If you have 2 million and you're drawing out 4% a year, then you draw out 80,000. Now, I have seen people draw out higher than that, but just the rule of thumb is 4%. That's why I'm bringing it up. But understanding how to have that withdrawal strategy. Also, there's also the thing of passive income. So if you have some rental properties or different things like that that are going to generate that passive income, that's also going to be a way that you can have that success in retirement. And then one of the biggest things is having that ongoing working relationship with a financial advisor. Having that relationship is going to be the thing that can help you navigate those markets. I think the biggest thing that we see with clients when they've made mistakes, it's been because they've made mistakes without having all of the information to make the decision that they're trying to make. If you think about this, if you're going to be in retirement, right, probably longer than you worked if you've decided to retire early. So we could be in retirement for 40 years. If you are going to navigate that by yourself, it's going to be tough. So this is why I think having someone to work with you and help you through this is going to give you the peace of mind that you need. That's why I would recommend working with a fee-only financial advisor. If there is any other questions that you guys have, please leave links below in the comments. And if you've made it this far, we'd love if you would like and subscribe. We're trying to get this message out to as many people as we can. We want to help as many people retire as soon as they can. Until next time, this is Emlen.